Hello, my beautiful Sally. Today I wanted to get really personal and vulnerable about my healing journey, and more specifically on my divine feminine energy and ways that I've tapped into it and what I've learned from tapping into it now, specifically because I feel like where I am right now in my journey is where my divine feminine energy is emerging a lot more, because I have always been more in my masculine energy, always defensive, feeling like I have to constantly protect myself and be strong and not allow myself to be vulnerable, because in my childhood, being vulnerable around certain people, they would bash me for it. They would tell me, just a lot of negative things about me being open, me having emotions, etc. And today I felt very heavy emotions, and I still kind of do, but I allow myself to cry, and that's something that I really want to bring up in this video. Is we're often told, hold on girl, because we might get serious. We're often told that, to tap into your feminine energy, or what feminine energy is, has to do with self-care, has to do with looking pretty, has to do with your physical body, has to do with working out, this and that, and in some ways that is true. But what we are often neglecting is our emotions and being vulnerable. Just because you have emotions does not mean that you have to cover them up, does not mean that you have to put forth the strong, independent woman kind of facade. And this is also for men, I'm not just saying women, because we all have a divine feminine energy. That's our nurturing energy. That is what is closely rooted to Mother Gaia, Mother Nature. So we all have it. So this isn't gender specific at all. I'm just saying through my perspective as a woman, that is what I'm going to be telling you, I feel as though, through my experience, a very major part of connecting to your divine feminine energy is not just through movement through your body, is not just caring for your body. It is allowing yourself to be vulnerable. It is allowing yourself to cry when you feel like crying, right then and there. It is allowing yourself to feel every emotion and energy that passes through you without judgment, without trying to push it away, without trying to put any walls or protecting yourself from these emotions. Because these emotions are not there to hurt you, even though obviously it's going to feel as though it is. They're not. They're there for you to feel, to experience, because there is something behind those emotions that are knocking at your door and telling you, hey, you need to pay more attention to this, or hey, this happened and it made me feel this way, and that is going to tell you that whatever situation, person, place, or thing that made you feel that way, you need to cut it out of your life. You need to stop doing it. If it's a bad habit that makes you feel a certain way and it's an occurring pattern, actually take the time to sit with those emotions, sit with those feelings, and tell yourself, what is this trying to tell me? What am I ignoring? What am I not seeing? That is tapping into your divine feminine energy. Because with your masculine energy, it's seeing those emotions and ignoring them. Seeing those emotions and pushing them aside. Seeing those emotions and trying to put something else on top of it so that you don't have to deal with it. No. That is when you get a lot of imbalance. That is when you are putting your masculine energies above your feminine energies, your divine feminine energies. And so what that's going to do is you're going to have a much tougher structure to break through when it comes to healing, and it's going to make things so much more difficult when you have to heal those wounds that are down in this area. And the more you push those emotions aside, the more you are neglecting that feminine energy, and the more that this masculine energy is going to come forth and say, okay, I'm in charge now. And now every emotion and feeling that I'm feeling, I'm not going to pay any attention to it unless it is the emotion that I want to feel, which for us is mostly that feeling of fulfillment through happiness, through joy, through egoistic pleasures that don't last. Let's talk about some ways that we can allow our feminine energy to lead the way in ways that isn't going to put us in any danger. Because I feel like that's something that we might fear, is that if we are vulnerable, if we allow ourselves to feel these emotions and these feelings, that it's going to put us in positions where we are unsafe, in positions where we are going to get hurt or attract people, places, and things that don't serve us any good. And in some ways that can be true, but that is when that balance between masculine and feminine comes in. With that feminine energy, it's allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to move with fluidity. The feminine energy is very flowing. That's why for us women, we have more of that feminine energy, and it's more powerful. And then with our period, our menstrual cycle, it's the body allowing to flow and kind of wash away and cleanse our womb. And that is why we are the ones who carry the babies. We are the ones who we produce and bear the children, because our feminine energy is much, much stronger than that of a man. And the man carries more of the masculine energy. So by us finding that balance within ourselves through allowing ourselves to feel the emotions, allowing ourselves to go with the flow, allowing ourselves to experience whatever the hell it is that we are experiencing at the moment, and not trying to push it aside or create and distort it to fit our perspective, not trying to control it in any way. Just through my experience, that's the way that I feel. It's allowed me to find that balance again. It's understanding that you're not always going to be this drive, go, work, success type of thing, you know? Because that's you trying to push through your masculine, and you're going to leave your divine feminine in the back like, God damn, you know? And we don't want to do that, because that causes a ton of imbalance and blah, 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 blah. Another thing that's helped me per se in my journey when it comes to connecting to my divine feminine energy is allowing myself to see other women as an inspiration. See, in this society, we're often, women are just placed against each other, feeling like we have to compete. And there was a point in my life when I did feel that way, when I couldn't just see a woman as a strong woman, someone who is capable, someone who is valuable and worthy, because I didn't feel that way about myself. So I was like, you know what? I have to do more than her, or I have to project this strong, independent woman the way that she's doing, so that I can be noticed and loved and cared for and respected. And that's definitely what society makes us believe. It makes us believe that in order for you to be respected and loved and appreciated, or given the time of day, you have to be more than every other woman who's already up here. And that is not true. That is not true at all. And that is such BS. Like, ew, we need to cut all of that out. But we only empower women over here. Because since I've been allowing myself to see a woman as an inspiration, like my friend gifted me this one and another one, which I'll probably put a picture of right here. It's allowed me to see a woman as this work of art. And I don't just mean her body, I mean the fact that it is already difficult enough as humans to go by in life. And through my experience, me personally, I know that it's a little more difficult as a woman because we are so undermined because our energy is seen as this tool, as something that isn't as worthy and powerful as the masculine energy. So because they split up divine feminine and divine masculine as female and male, now those energies are separated. And we are conditioned to see it as a separate thing, but it's not a separate thing. Because every woman has a masculine energy. Every man has a feminine energy. It's about connecting back to it. It's about understanding that it is okay to be vulnerable as a man. And as a woman, it is okay for us to want to strive and work towards something. So it's really, I feel like in the society and in this life, we need to flip-flop. Flip-flop roles. So a man, they're supposed to be hardworking, be the work of the family, be the protector. Okay, so let's flip-flop that. As a man, let's be vulnerable. Let's be more nurturing to yourself. Before you even think of doing it for others, be no more nurturing and vulnerable to yourself. Love yourself. Care for yourself. Do self-care for yourself in ways that are not just, oh, let me do this face mask and this and this and that. No, in ways that are mental self-care, emotional self-care, energetic self-care, spiritual self-care. That is you as a man connecting and tapping into your feminine energy. Now for women, because we are portrayed through our feminine energies, which is someone who is softer and, tilly-tilly-tally. Let's flip-flop that. And not in a way that's, oh, I'm going to put up this wall and no one can get to me. I'm not saying to do that. What I'm saying is, if you are more concentrated in the masculine energy, flip-flop that and try to concentrate on your feminine energy. Specifically for men, because men are portrayed and told to stay in this masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? And for women, if you are more in your feminine energy, where you feel like you're constantly walked over, where you feel like your boundaries are never met, where you feel like you're not respected, that is what I mean to flip-flop it and give some attention to your masculine energy, which is setting boundaries, saying, you know what, I have what it takes to do this. I am more than enough. I'm more than capable. I am valuable, and being who I am, I deserve the respect and the love that I look for. And same thing as I said before, make sure you are doing that for yourself first. Give yourself that respect. Give yourself that hope. Tell yourself that you can. Tell yourself that you are valuable. Tell yourself that you are worthy. Tell yourself that you are more than enough. And once you secure that within yourself, utilizing that masculine energy to set those boundaries, then other people can reflect that onto you. If you feel like you're always in this place of defensiveness, which is where I was, and I still sometimes find myself in that position, revert it to your divine feminine energy and allow yourself to put the walls down. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Allow yourself to see with clarity what's going on around me and how is that making me feel, okay? And if you're always in this place where you're loving and giving to others consistently and you're feeling drained, allow yourself to set those boundaries. Sit there and acknowledge, when do I feel drained? How am I draining myself? Who am I giving my love and attention to, and how does that make me feel internally? So there's so much that we can do when it comes to changing our perspective towards ourselves first. And I personally feel like that's the best way to find that balance, is understanding what is my masculine energy, what is my feminine energy, what is in play right now, how can I play with them and mix them in a way where it feels right for me, because not everyone is going to feel balanced by doing certain things. Some people, some women, they actually do feel a lot better and a lot more secure when they are in this masculine energy. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And then for men, they feel more secure when they're in the feminine energy. See, like, and that's where this this stigma of you have to be this as a man, you have to be this as a woman. No, because that feminine and masculine energy is not split apart. They are together. And some people, they stand more in one than the other, and that's completely okay. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. And that's why I don't really like gender, the fact that we created genders to kind of set that wall and split it, because that's just terrible conditioning. But we could talk about that another time. There is no specific way to feel. There's no specific way to harness your energy. It's about understanding what is what for you when it comes to masculine and feminine. How can you put it to use in a way where you're maintaining that balance? And that's another thing. That balance is not always going to be balanced, because especially as we are healing, that masculine is going to come back up a lot of times, and it's going to try to protect us from this, and we're going to try to be defensive towards these emotions. And other times that feminine energy can come up, and we'll feel like we're just so vulnerable, and we just want to cry, and all we feel is these emotions, and it's overwhelming, and that's okay. But eventually it's gonna come back. Okay? So don't beat yourself up for it. There's nothing about you that you need to fix. This is all a growing process. This is all a healing process. This all takes so much time, and you're not behind on anything. You know? I feel like society is so fast paced that we oftentimes feel like we have to stay in this masculine energy so that we can keep up with it. There is nothing to keep up with. You are life. You are the experience. So there's absolutely no way that you can ever be behind on anything, because it's you. So it's just about changing that perspective, changing your focus back to you, back to yourself. Not to what we are conditioned to when it comes to money and success, or what they tell us is success, which we can definitely have another video about that, about how society portrays success in abundance and wealth and riches. We can have a whole other video about that. Don't even play. With my experience with tapping into my feminine energy, I realized that there are moments when I feel guilty when I'm in this feminine energy, and I want to give this love and time and space to myself, and there are people around me who are constantly trying to take, and it makes me feel a bit guilty because I give that time to myself. In my childhood, I was conditioned that if someone is in that center of attention, then they're not being loved, they're not being cared for. If you're not giving your time and your love to this person whenever and however they want it, then you are not doing the right thing. Then you are a bad person. Then you are self-centered. Then you are this and this and that. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, cut the cameras. Because that's not right. That's not right. And that's part of healing, is allowing yourself to step into this feminine energy, where you are giving yourself that space and time to feel all of those emotions, to understand your wounds, understand where is this branching from, like, when did this start, allowing yourself to heal all the way down to the roots. Okay, I personally feel as though the feminine energy is much deeper to the soul, and the masculine energy is much more superficial. And that's just how I personally feel. And I feel as though that's maybe why those who are more tapped into the feminine energy, they can heal faster. They can understand things a bit quicker. They can, be more nurturing. They can connect to things, be more empathic with people, places, and things. And connecting to that feminine energy will allow you to heal that inner child. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's being that nurturing self to your inner child, to that child self who maybe didn't have that nurturer, didn't have that emotional quote unquote protection, that emotional attention, emotional appreciation. And we have to provide that for ourselves. We have to be our own parent. I love that idea, that not that if you do have loving and caring parents that you completely disregard them. No, it's that only you are capable of loving and healing that spiritual part of you, that emotional part of you. People can add on to it. People can help you. People can guide you. But only you have the capabilities of actually honing those energies and those resources and everything that you are receiving to mend yourself. And it definitely starts with your childhood. So your feminine energies are going to be very key for that. Being able to nurture your childhood. Being able to nurture those experiences that didn't feel good, that cause you pain and trauma. Giving yourself that space. Giving yourself that space and that comfort to feel it. Sometimes we have to relive it until we can understand it, until it is healed. And it's going to take time and lots of patience, and it's not going to be easy. And you are not expected to do anything but live, but breathe. When you wake up in the morning, the only number one expectation that you have, that the universe has on you, is that you're here, you're present, you're alive. That's it. Everything else you make for yourself. All those expectations that other people place on you, hello. That don't got nothing to do with you. No. That has completely to do with them, with their perspective on you. That's their business. That ain't yours. But me personally, what I give myself as expectations is to try my best. Whatever it is and whatever experience I'm going through, to allow myself to feel and live through it, and do what I can to heal if I have to heal, to find that balance, to stay grounded and stay in the present moment. That's it. No expectations about money, no expectations about materialistic things, no expectations about, I need to get a job, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, you don't need to do anything. If you have goals in your life, start internally. How can I rewire my mind through love, through my feminine energy, and with balance through your masculine, to keep that structure, to grow towards becoming this greater version of myself. Because every day you are better than yesterday. Okay? So don't push yourself too much. Resting. We are constantly conditioned to be in this masculine force where we have to move forward, where we have to strive and strive and strive. Resting is also success. Resting is also striving. Resting is also abundance. Resting is taking a step forward. Because without you feeling whole and complete, there is no other experience. There is no life, because you are the life. Okay? I feel like, I'm not sure if we stayed in between the topic lines, but yeah, I feel like I got out what I had to say. I hope it all made sense. Throughout my journey, or as I'm continuing my journey, I do want to continue to share some of the things that I learn and experience, because we don't talk about it enough. Like, you go on social media, you go on all they talk about is BS to the maximum. Like, politics, BS, money, BS, and we don't really get into these specifics about being vulnerable, about actually being a human being who has emotions, who carries energy. Like, we are energy. Scientifically proven. We are energy. We are an energy source. We are life itself. So why shouldn't we give that attention to that fact? Why should we continue to focus on these materialistic things? The very things that we created, the very structures that humans created. How? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna definitely make a video about it, but like, how in the actual effing butt are we being slaves to a structure and a system that we created? Like, it really baffles me. It really baffles me. Give me your opinions about these things, about everything I just talked about, but should we make a video about that? Like, just sit down and chat about it? Like, hello. Like, oh my, just thinking about it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, since I was little, I was like, why? Didn't we create money? Didn't we create value? Like, how are there people living on the streets? What's going on? Like, what is going on? Why are we putting a cost on things that we can walk outside and find? Or go outside and grow for free? Like, the fuck is going on? Yeah, I hope what I spoke of today, you know, sparked something in your brain. And you can give me your input, give me your output. If you have any specific topics you actually want to talk about, let me know. Let me know, because I'm down. I'm down to just sit and talk, because I don't talk about these things enough, because no one who is in my life right now actually sits down and talks about it, and it's pretty poopy, but I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you stick along for the ride, because there's so much more to talk about and experience together, and that is why I am here, because I want to be vulnerable with you, because I want to sit down and talk about things that we often neglect, because I want to be raw and true. Purry. Hope you're having a fantastic day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be for you, pretty soulieess. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.